Greetings and welcome again to another Curator's Chat here at Behringer-Crawford Museum. Today I have a guest speaker, and it's this wonderful man named Robert Haven, who is a beading guru, an artist, and he was going to talk a little bit today about tambour beading, and you can see his work in our exhibit here at the museum, and you can even take classes and workshops from him. So I'm going to hand over the speaking to Robert here and let him explain what you're looking at.
Well, thank you. It's lovely to be here. Tambour beading is a technique used to apply beads and sequins to fabric for haute couture fashion. It's a labor-intensive process, but it's still 10 times faster than doing it by needle and thread, which is why they still use it in the couture houses in Paris for Chanel and all of the big designers in Paris. If there's beading on the garments, it's done by this method. It uses a hook. The fabric is stretched tightly on a frame. That's where it gets the name tambour, because that's the French word for drum. Oh. And the fabric is stretched tightly, and then you bead through the fabric. But you do it from the back side. So you're not looking at the beads, you're looking at the back of the fabric. And that's kind of freaks people out because you can't really see what you're doing, but after your fingers get used to it, you can move along very, very, very quickly. And 90% of the time, you're working on sheer fabric, which is why if you look back in the 20s, the roaring 20s, when all those beaded dresses were all done on either organza or sheer chiffon. And that was one of the reasons, because they were doing it from the backside, and it made it easier to see the technique.
So what is this here?
This is a Victorian tambour hook, which probably would have been made, I'm guessing, probably the early 1900s, or early 1800s, actually. I'm sorry. It's mother of pearl, and this part unscrews to reveal this delicate little hook in here, and then this part that you take off screws onto the back to give you a little bit longer handle. And this would have been in a very aristocratic lady's sewing box, because they would have used these in the early 1800s to create lace designs on bobbin net and tulle, and so it was just this little chain stitch that they would make with these little delicate hooks. And they've come a little bit more refined since then, in different sizes and such for different size threads, but it can only imagine what that little hook created.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
It's a beautiful piece too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and come and visit our exhibit